Hey YouTube, how's everyone doing? Doing pretty good these days. I'm getting really excited about this review, so if you don't mind, I'm just gonna dive right into it. It's gonna be the new EP from Chicago hardcore band Harm's Way. The album's called Blinded, and in case you're unfamiliar, the band was formed in 2006 and has since released 2 full-lengths and 4 EPs. The band is known for their extreme style of hardcore, almost crossing over into metal territory, with such impressive production and a vocal style seldom heard in any standard hardcore band. The band is also known for their gargantuan vocalist who goes by the name Judge Hammers. I don't think I've ever seen a more terrifying man in hardcore. I suppose he calls himself Judge Hammers because he's a huge fan of Judge? I don't know. What I do know is we actually happen to have the same Judge tattoo, the Hammers, pretty kind of clips of that, on the same spot, which I thought was really sick. All of Harm's Way's past material has been released under both Organized Crime Records and Closed Closet Activities. The band decided to switch things up for this release and go with Death Wish Inc. I definitely believe that this was a great choice for label because I think that if bands really want a bigger name for themselves, Death Wish Inc. is the place to be. Death Wish has released material for Ceremony, Terror, 108, Code Orange Kids, Modern Life is War, First Blood, the list goes on and on. Death Wish has more than made a name for itself and supported the best in the niche known as hardcore. Now, Blinded. Let's talk about it. Now before I even say anything, as soon as the first song hits, you can tell right from the beginning that this album is going to be something else. Harm's Way is typically known for their old school metalcore type sound. I put metalcore in quotes because I just fucking hate that term. I'd much rather just use the term metal influenced hardcore punk. There you go, it's a lot better. So they're normally known for that type of sound. However, on this release we get a much slower, much more metal influenced sound, comparable to a band like Xibalba. Whereas they used to have a consistent speed to them, much like bands like Soul Search do, they decided to focus on a more slow, drawn out intros, with still the same vocal style, but just a lot slower overall. Now online, some people are saying this was a wrong turn from the band, and they haven't supported the EP the same way they have with past releases, but for me, I can still enjoy the album on a different level than I would with their others. I can usually rock a Harm's Way album in the same way I would throw on a Converge album, just for those fast-paced, really aggressive albums. Now while I will agree, I will probably frequent this album less often than I will with their others, it'll still have a place in my listening material. Now back to their first song. It's called Frontal Lobe. And I gotta tell you, it is a long motherfucker. 7 minutes of just heavy metal riffage. For fans of Xibalba, Suburban Scum, Warhound, you're gonna really dig this EP. Even if you haven't dug Harm's Way's past releases, you will still get something out of this album. It never falls short on just pure heaviness throughout the album. And I will say that most metal/hardcore fans will be pleasantly surprised with the album. But for me, if there's one thing I've always picked Harm's Way for, it's been the song lengths. I do think that they have one of the best sounds in modern hardcore, but I just can't get past the song lengths. It wasn't as big of a deal before because the songs usually stuck between a 3 to 4 minute range, which is acceptable. But expecting me, as someone who has the attention span of a, hey, what's that? As someone who has the attention span of a squirrel, to sit through a 2.5 minute intro is just fucking ridiculous. The title track on this album is quite literally over 3 minutes and is just an instrumental. I just can't sit through that. I'll admit, loads of bands play small interludes in their albums. Leftover Crack did it. Only difference is, Leftover Crack's interlude falls under 1.5 minutes and fits so well with the album I hardly even notice it most times. But here we have 3 minutes. We have 1.5 minutes of this lead guitar playing a groove for the first half, that we finished with what would actually sound pretty good if there was some vocals to it. I don't know everyone, I'm just really overthinking this. My favorite track on the album would have to be Blind Stare. This is by far the shortest track on the album, falling just under 2.5 minutes. It reminds me of their previous albums, which is great because it offers something to us fans of shorter, meat and potatoes styles of hardcore. But it sucks because why would I want to wait for a song that sounds nothing like the rest of the album? A song that doesn't need extensive intros or unjustifiable lengths. It's definitely good for what it is, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm just walking away from this album a little shortchanged. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this album a 6. Sorry guys, I really can't do better than a 6. It's an okay album, but I'm just really the wrong guy for this new style of hardcore. I know there's going to be a lot of people that'll disagree with me on this, and I really respect that, but it's really not for me. What do you think of this EP? Leave a comment in the section below letting me know. Like, dislike, subscribe, tell your friends. Let me know what to review next. Until next time, peace the fuck out.